Okay, I'd like to call to order the Weathersfield School Board meeting for May 13th. It is 6:31, I guess, 6:32, sorry. And I guess we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Marley, would you like to lead us? One last time, right?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, changes or additions to the agenda? We are going to have a discussion with the teachers during public participation. Is there anything else? Okay. I'll take a motion to approve the minutes of April 8th.
So move.
Okay. All in favor say aye. Aye. And those are approved. Okay, and then we have public participation, which I do have Laura Powers. Would you like to speak?
I'm Laura Powers. Okay, so what would you like me to start with? How would you like me to start?
You got like 5 minutes, so go
Okay.
ahead, say what you gotta say.
So the staff of Weathersfield School feels very strongly that we are coming into the next school year short-staffed for things that we need to provide for students. So we've provided a letter to the school board stating why we feel that another elementary school teacher would be helpful. We are currently at a combined K-1 class, which is not as beneficial as it sounds for young students to be combined. Plus there are numerous other reasons why. And we are also asking for the possibility of a dual licensed PE and health teacher. Laura Berry, our PE teacher, is currently required to teach 2 classes a week per grade level or per class. Her schedule is as tight as it can possibly be with no minutes in between for transitions. She gets her 45-minute prep and her 30-minute lunch, and that is about all she has for the entire day. We also know that health is a requirement by the state to be taught. We do the best we can within the classrooms, but it's minimal at best. So we would like to ask if the school board would consider. We understand that the budget has passed for this current school year coming up. We understand that asking for something like this would possibly put the school in a deficit starting next school year. We also know that oftentimes we have budget or surplus that happens once all of the monies are in or out and they have figured out their fiscal year. So we are hoping that there is a way that we can find some type of solution for one or both of these situations. Questions?
Yep. Does anyone have any questions? Or anything you want to know more about?
Sounds like the first, if you had prioritized the 2, is that the first request a higher priority than the second?
Without speaking to my colleagues, my personal preference, and I can't speak for everybody else, would be to help the schedule of our PE teacher currently. She has been suffering for years with as tight of a schedule as she could possibly get. And if you look at it in terms of equity, the other teachers in the building have more free time to be able to do things, transition times in between classes where they get to have a bathroom break or a water break, where she barely gets the opportunity to do that and has to ask other people to support her to be able to get those times. That would be my preference, but I can't speak for everybody.
Anything else?
No, I think her letter explained the situation well.
Okay. All Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Anne Marie,
Oh, yes.
BJ asked if I was going to speak about anything else, and I didn't acknowledge it. Can I speak about this or no?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I won't be fine.
Okay.
I just want to point out another factor that, and it's not necessarily in regards to a new teacher. Okay, so I just want to speak about Laura Berry, one of my colleagues. So as Mr. Martez knows and BJ knows, and some of you do, when basketball is used, we used to have an adult volleyball thing going on, inside baseball, softball practice. Laura cannot set her gym up. Like let's say she's doing badminton with the kids this week. She can't leave the nets up because we're gonna have inside practice because it's raining or, it's basketball season. So she has to come in the morning around 7:10 every morning so she can set all of her stuff up. If she wants to do candlepin bowling or put mats out for gymnastics or anything like that, she can't leave it in like all of us classroom teachers. My stuff is all set up. PE teacher, she can't. And as Vincent knows with, sports and everything, the gym is used constantly at night. If there's a dance on a Friday night, she can't leave Friday with her gym all set up for Monday morning. Because there's a dance, there's an assembly, there's a community thing, there's town meeting. So in regards to the gym, she has a lot that she has to do every morning versus us teachers who can prepare our stuff, get it laid out in our classrooms ready for tomorrow morning. So I just I know some of you already know this, but just another thing that hinders her with her PE gym. It's not, her gym. It's used for everything else. And that creates, her morning issues to try to run around and get things out. So I just wanted to speak about that.
Thank you. Okay, do we have we don't have any other public participation? So we will move on to the administrative report.
All right. So this is the administrative report for May 13th, 2025, and we'll go ahead and start off with our mission statement. Always like to start off with that to remind everybody what our mission here at Weathersfield School is. And then we're going to go right into the wonderful PTO President, Jamie Richardson.
Hi, Laura. Hi, everybody. Long time no see. First of all, I want to thank Carrie Jewell, who has been my proxy for months and months of coming and presenting on what the PTO has been doing. So Carrie, I know you're online, and thank you so much for doing double duty with PTO and athletics. I'm not speaking about athletics tonight, though. There's a great game going on. There's some booster food. It's been great, but that's about as far as I can go for this. So usually we come here at the end of the year. I know June is your retreat, so we don't often get to say, thank you and goodbye and have a great summer. But that's sort of what I'm doing here. So Marley, it's been wonderful to see you as a representative. That's been really congratulations. Big changes coming your way, and we appreciate you being on the board there. So I just want to thank all of you for all of your support throughout the year. It really means a lot for when I come in August to present our calendar for the year, and you ask a few questions, but for the most part, it's always been very supportive, and we genuinely thank you for showing up to events and being supportive of them, and usually always approving our calendar, your wild and crazy ideas to help support these characters behind me. We always talk about Mrs. Berry, but she was just recently creating some mischief around the school for our staff appreciation week. So thanks for being a good sport. We appreciate that. I think Mr. Askew, you also might have been a suspect too. So anyway, but I tease. So we've had a great year, and I know that Carrie has shared a ton of what we've been doing every month when she's coming. So I'm not going to spend time up, and we just want to celebrate all the things that we've done. So we get bigger and wilder every year, and hopefully we can continue to do some great fundraising, and also, the other side of that is to have some fun events and support our school folks and our kiddos. So we always are trying to balance the celebrating our kids, supporting our kids, and celebrating and supporting all the staff here. And coming off of last week's Staff Appreciation Week, we're exhausted, but we're riding on this wonderful high of celebration, and we hope that everybody had a lot of fun playing some games and celebrating each other. And you know, it really is one of our most favorite events of the year is our staff appreciation. So obviously we're gearing up. We're already starting paw drop meetings. I know that probably doesn't shock anyone anymore that we're already starting that, but we had our first meeting, and we're you know, always looking to do bigger and better things this fall in September. So there will be this start of some hype built around paw drop, and you'll hopefully see it all summer long. And then, you know, no, I'm not gonna say before we know we'll be back to school, because we haven't even finished school yet, but it is our biggest and most fun fundraiser really of the year, and has become, you know, a community event really. So thank you so much for continuing to support that. And, you know, I know Carrie talked a little bit about the comedy night was another great success, and we are doing a spring apparel sale that's been great. Penny wars or coin wars, which we've never done before, but we see it on, you know, these Facebook posts all the time, and other schools are always like, yeah, see, unbelievable. I mean, you pick a cool theme like Mario Kart and away it rolls. The kids get into it, the families get into it, and we were really successful. And for years, I think I've been standing up here talking about how successful we've been with fundraisers. And I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, so are you planning on talking about the?
Nope, I left it all to you.
Is it okay?
Yep.
So all of our fundraising endeavors go back to recreational equipment on the playground. We've been buying all the balls and the toys, like to supplement some of the school supplies out there. And then some of you know, mini grants and all those things. But we've been fundraising for years now, and we're sitting on a little bit of money. And we were really, really, really blessed with the Hicks-Nichols grant last year to be able to help buy the television screen outside. So we're like, what do? We need to do some more. So we've been working with Brian and BJ to get some an estimate to bring in a new swing set for the playground. So we're staying in our lane of not figuring out how to get it in the ground. That's you guys, but we were really happy to support it and financially help them purchase a new swing set for our playground. So it's kind of funny, you know. I'm so shocked we can't hear the squeaking right now with the swing set, but we have new swings out there, but the whole thing will be redone. And, you know, there's probably a lot more that Brian and BJ can talk to about that, but it's a pretty substantial contribution from our fundraising endeavor. So we're really excited to see something fresh and new on the playground. You know, we have big dreams, of course, of like, oh, what can we do? There's more space, let's fill it in. Well, we don't want to do that. We just want to come and help, you know, give the kids something new. That school has now, the expansion has been a few years, and some of the equipment is getting a little weathered. And so thank you, Brian and BJ, for working with us the last few months, trying to get to a place where we can agree to support that. So we're really excited to see that come to fruition. So that doesn't mean that we're not gonna continue to do great things and continue with all of the equipment and active play supplies, and, you know, continue with all of our mini grants and teacher initiatives and field trip support and all those things. We just have done really well the last couple of years, and it's time to give a good chunk of change over. So more on that, I'm sure. Hopefully y'all can see it in action and not hear it in action over the next, everybody knows the squeak. Like, I think I hear it in my dreams here often enough, where there's a lot of squeaking going on on the swing set. So anyway, we have done 8 teacher and staff and student touch points throughout the year, from cider and donuts to treat boxes and the elfing that we do for the teachers. And we just had a great week-long celebration for staff appreciation, partnered with Literacy Night for Camp Read a Lot, which was super fun, giving out thousands of dollars in mini grants this year. Always looking to decorate something, because that's what brings us a lot of joy, is, you know, coming and throwing some decorations or building a photo booth or something of that nature. And then willing to support as a volunteer for any dances or drama productions or field day, which I don't know, Carrie put out the email today, like, who wants to participate in field day? You might have the whole PTO in Severity, I don't know. We're just all excited, probably for the Kona ice truck, which is coming back. So we've seen an increase in our attendance at meetings and events. We have this incredible pool of volunteers that we're looking to continue to nurture that relationship with our students, and some of our, you know, older students who are looking for some volunteer hours, or some of the families who are curious, like, what are you guys up to and how can I participate? So it's been really nice to see that growth, as some of us are already realizing that our times are, almost starting to trickle down. We're like getting, one of the folks in the PTO meeting recently said that she was like the new class, or the, and I was like, okay, I'm part of the old class now, and it happened. In closing, just thank you so much for a wonderful year in supporting our mission and what we're trying to do. We're hoping that you see it going back into our staff and our students and just the school community as a whole. We're really proud of the impact that we've made, and we're hoping that we will continue to, rise to the next level of fun next school year. So, anyone have any questions about anything we've done this year, or things you make sure we do or don't do next year, or anything?
I just want to say you guys are awesome. I mean, you do a great job, and thank you so much for all you do to support the school. We appreciate it.
Thanks,
I know.
everybody. Appreciate you all. Appreciate all of you. Really.
Thank you, Jamie. All right, next up, we have Carrie Jewell, our athletic director, and I believe she's going to do a quick report from the virtual world.
Yeah, super quick. We're in between things happening. And so the most exciting thing is signups for fall sports opening this week. So they can sign up for soccer and cross country, kindergarten through 8th grade for soccer, 5th through 8th grade for cross country. And those signups will be live this week.
Thank you, Carrie. Awesome job. Thank you. All right, next up, we have Marley. So she's going to talk about some of the 8th grade things that are happening or coming up in the next couple of weeks, next few weeks, and last 22 days. Can you read that, Marley, from there? Okay. So first off, basket raffle at Leadership Day. Can we talk about that a little bit? Where they're doing the yeah, there we go.
Yes, the basket raffle, that is for the 8th grade trip to Boston.
Burlington. Yeah.
Burlington, I know that.
We've changed plans on them.
Burlington, there's we're going to do a bunch of activities, like we're going from early in the morning, and I know we have some mini golf. We were good with our budget, but we couldn't get the bus, so now we have to get a pricier bus. And Ms. Stilson has been on all the 8th graders about that, and Ms. Kay also. So about getting our tickets in, getting our money. So we have a bunch of baskets. I know there's baking, movie night, self-care, car supplies, gardening, like a beach summer basket, toys and games. I think that's most of them. Yeah, it's 7. But some of the 8th graders are working on them upstairs, and we have some of the 8th graders and their guardians and parents bring in the toys and games and stuff for that. So that I hope that goes really well. It will, because Ms. Stilson's running it. When Ms. Stilson runs something, it goes really well. So I'm excited for that, and I just hope that the people really like it, because I know the 8th graders are kind of excited for it to see if they know someone will get it. So.
How can people buy tickets, Marley, to win a chance at the raffle?
Because the money.
How?
Oh, how? I thought you said.
How do they get tickets?
They go to an 8th grader, or an 8th grader will go to them. $2 for 1 ticket, or a little booklet, which is 6 tickets for $10. I know I'm signing down. And a bunch of 8th graders are signing them. Well, not a bunch. All the 8th graders should be signing them. So,
Yeah. They can come to school, they can come to the school, okay.
Did you bring tickets with you tonight, by any chance?
No.
Opportunity, because there's a slide that.
I don't think BJ, do you have tickets? They're
How
in,
we can get tickets,
yeah,
yeah.
because I know they're in the ticket card.
Carpool, the car
I know BJ gets the money, and then Miss Kay gets the toys, and then we had to bring them to Miss Stilson's today. That was fun. It was nice.
8th grade dinner and dance.
8th grade dinner and dance. So most of the 8th graders have been trying to pick the food, because we get a little selection for that, and that was fun. Some people were really joking with flaming young. It was really funny, but
The eighth graders are gonna have, they're like a little fun dance, just eighth graders, and they're gonna have a dinner. I don't know if it's like just families, I think it's like families with with the dinner, and, just like the last kind of minute that the eighth graders like can get together all in one and have like a fun time. So I think that will go really well. I'm excited.
And then you already talked a little bit about your eighth grade trip to Burlington,
Yeah.
and then graduation day, June 9th.
June 9th, graduation. We're gonna have one eighth grade student talk. We still have not decided that. People want me to do it, but some of the people want to do it, so I'm gonna let them if they want to. So that's June 9th. Some of the eighth graders have been counting down the days, and some have just totally forgotten about it. But eighth graders do not have to come after they graduate, but I know some definitely will mainly because the parents are just like, go to school. And some still want to go. And I hope that most eighth graders come back for field day to help out and like run stations and to have one last fun time all together. So that eighth grade graduation is gonna be sad and just like, but a good time. So I'm excited for that. And I know a bunch of eighth graders are too.
All right, thank you, Marley. We truly appreciate all the work that you've done this year, and you've been such a great helper with morning announcements. And then when I know I need something from somebody, you're the. All right, so there you go. All right,
Marley is truly a gift because she can add the during morning announcements, which is very, very hard to do. I can throw something at her and say, here, do this. And next thing you know, she, without missing a beat, Marley, you've got a gift for that. Use that. So I'm very proud of you. Thank you for everything you've done for us.
Absolutely.
Oh, show us what you got. Oh, okay. So I got this wonderful Weathersfield card that's going on my wall. I'm gonna really miss Weathersfield. You always have a home here. Never forget the difference that you made. I'm gonna cry. Sponsor.
Thank you, Marley. You still got a few more weeks of doing announcements. I always panic a little bit when she's not here in the morning and I realize I have to go back and do them. I used to love doing them, but now that I have her, it's a lot different. It's a lot more fun with her. All right, so we had Family Steam Night on May the 1st. It was a pretty awesome event. We had kids that got to do virtual reality goggles and experience a VR world. There was hands-on activities that the students got to do, which was amazing. Lots of families were here to be able to support it, and kids, and it was the quickest hour and a half that I've had in a long time. It went by like that, and the kids were engaged, the parents were engaged. I had one set of grandparents that were working on some glasses that they were making, and they had to do it with the doodle art little it's like a 3D pen, thank you. And I didn't have the patience for it, but they were sitting there doing it, and they came up with a pair of glasses, which was really cool. And I know the kids had a really good time. There's another slide on that one. There's more kids that are engaged. What was great is we had the River Valley Tech Center here. We had Black Rock Innovation Center here. And then we had the RADS drone team that was here. So kids got to fly a drone in the gym. And the last time I flew a drone here, it ended up in a tree. And then when I was flying them in California, they kept hitting the inside of the ceiling of our multi-purpose room. But our kids were doing an amazing job with that. So I want to thank all of those groups, and then thank Mrs. Robinson, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Robart, and Mrs. Sorrell for doing a fantastic job on putting this event on. So thank you very much for all your hard work. We appreciate you. And then we had a 3rd through 5th grade folk dance night. And so that was last Friday, and I heard it was pretty amazing. So we had our 3rd through 5th graders here with Miss Town, our music teacher, and they were teaching the audience how to do different folk dances. And they were quite engaged and they had a good time doing that, which was nice. And the kids came back with some knowledge of folk dances. And then thank you to Naomi and Emmett for volunteering to play as well. And that was a picture of them before, so that was an awesome minute. And then one of the things that Miss Town does is she does something that she calls an informant. And so they had the kindergarten one last night, first grade is tomorrow night, and then Tuesday is on Thursday night. So last year she did them within the school day. This year she's doing them after school so that kids are there with their families for sure. It makes it a little bit easier for parents to be able to get here so they don't have to take time off from work. And they do a little performance with just the kindergartners in here. And it's really, and then just the first graders and just the second graders. So it's just an awesome opportunity to have a little bit more of an intimate experience with the kids and be able to do that smaller venue for there's not as many nervous students. Were you able to go?
Yeah, it was really great. They actually, Miss Town walked through exactly what they do in the classroom, and I heard my little guy sing. He's not a singer, so I was surprised that he grabbed that mic. He's quite shy and quiet, as Mrs. Robinson can speak to. It was a really nice opportunity. We're really happy we came.
Nice, good. It's just really a great opportunity for the kids to be able to perform a little bit and make it nice for the parents because there's not a bad seat in the room when you're in here. So thank you very much, Ms. Town, for bringing that to our school. Our book fair is coming up next week, May 19th through the 23rd. Awesome opportunity to buy books. It happens to coincide with Leadership Day. That's sort of weird how that worked out. But that way families get an opportunity when they're here during the week or on Leadership Day to be able to help out our library and purchase books. And it gets students ready for the summer to have a big bag of books to read all during the summertime. So we don't have that summer slide. And then the 8th grade raffle, I have the slide up, but I wanted to see how much Marley could remember, which she did an awesome job. I don't think she missed any of the baskets. So those are the baskets. Tickets are $2 or 6 for $10, and you guys can buy those here. All right, elementary update. So we were lucky enough to get an amazing teacher, Anna Brunsheck. She's coming to us from Heartland. She was there at Heartland for a year. She got displaced because of numbers. Before that, she was in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and she made the move out here last year. She tried to make it the year before, but she is pretty phenomenal. The hiring committee really liked her, thought she was going to be great and a great fit for a spot here at school. And with that being said, originally it was supposed to be a 5th grade spot, but then somebody that was on the hiring committee approached me and said, you know what, Brian, I'd really like that 5th grade spot. And I said, are you sure? Think about it, talk about it. And then that person came back to me a little bit later and she said, yep, I want to do it. And so Leanna Robinson is going to teach 5th grade next year. She's making the jump from kinder to 5th. And it's a good jump. I did the jump of kinder to 6, so I know how that is. And so she's awesome. We're excited to have her in 5th grade. And then Anna is going to teach the K1 combo. So she's excited about that. And that's in her wheelhouse as well. So it was a win-win for all of us. And we're excited to have Anna here. And but Laura will be happy still. But we wanted to, and we're excited to have Anna here for the K1 combo. And we're excited to have Leanna teach 5th grade to fill out that spot. And then our science teacher, we're still in trying to figure everything out. We have a candidate. We're just making sure everything works out. So hopefully we'll hear more information about that. Keep our fingers crossed. Enrollment. So for elementary, we have 168 students. We have 95.5% average daily attendance. Middle level, 95% with 75 students. Safety drills. So we'll be doing one more in the month of May. And then Chief Compo and the Fire Marshal will be here tomorrow to walk the school and go over anything that needs to be done for the school. So we get to do a walkabout with them tomorrow. Leader of Me, MRA, which is the Measurable Results Assessment, will be given to students the week of May 19th to the 23rd. And then families will have the opportunity to do the parent portion on the 23rd when they're here at school for Leadership Day. Upcoming events, there's a ton of them. It's the end of the year. It always happens that way. So May 16th is our final Pride Assembly this Friday, 19th to 23rd. I already talked a little bit about it, is the book fair. Panther Cup Night is next Tuesday from 5 to 6, which is an awesome opportunity for incoming kinders to be able to go into the classroom, see what's going on in there, get some activities to do, and walk out with a fun bag of materials to be able to do during the summertime. We have a spring music ensemble at 6 p.m. Leadership Day, of course, is the 23rd, which also happens to be an early release day for students. So all students get out at 12, and then it gives us the opportunity as the staff to come back together and talk about everything that went well, things that we could improve on Leadership Day, and just have an opportunity to bond together for one more opportunity. The 26th is Memorial Day, no school. The 30th is Music in the Park field trip, band and chorus. 8th grade dinner and dance is also on the 30th. Spring sports night is on the 3rd. 8th grade trip to Burlington and beyond, since they're going to a couple different places. 8th grade graduation, field day, and then finally the last day of school is June 13th. And that is also an early release day for students. And that's about it for me, and I will turn it over to Christine.
Okay. My report's not as fun, sorry. Well, the first part is, so it's the end of the year. As you've heard, hiring is underway. I will say we've had more candidates this year than we have in the past couple of years, which is promising. I think, with the projection for teacher shortages over the next 10 years, I feel pretty fortunate that we're getting applicants that want to come work at Weathersfield and across the SU. So we are not quite there, but getting close to being fully staffed. So much too fast. I wanted to let you know that our instructional team leaders, so that position we talked about with all of you, they already met with our new curriculum director, Bridget Ferriel. That would be from Weathersfield, Kristen Hubner. She's taking on that role. They, on the agenda at that meeting, they talked about coaching. What is instructional coaching? Why is it important? How is it going to look going forward? Because it is a program we're kind of developing as we, we're building the plane as we fly it, which we do a lot. Talked about the assessment calendar, when we're going to align our assessments. We're trying to align our STAR assessments with parent-teacher conferences so that teachers can share those results with parents in person. We don't have a lot of leeway over VCAP testing. The state sets those dates, so it's just a calendar of assessments that we give throughout the year. They are working on the fall professional development plan. There's been a lot of feedback that our grade level teams across the supervisory union would like to have more time together. People agreeing, so we're going to try to build that in over the course of the year. They're working on the literacy plan and planning summer work. So it was a busy meeting, and we have a very strong team, so we're excited about the work they're going to be able to do. I'm going to bring you a little bit of a legislative update. If you're at the SU board meeting, you've heard some of this. Some of it's a little bit new. So H454 is the biggie in the legislature right now. Draft 9.1 of the bill is currently in Senate Finance this week, and it's supposed to be out of Senate Finance on Thursday. That's what we've been told. They are doing a lot of work around the foundational formula and the weights. And so what I've heard is that there's a scenario C, which adjusts the weights that are set to this current year's education payment. It eliminates the CTE weight, which is the career tech ed weight, which is one of the weights in the long-term weighted long-term average daily membership, and the variable school size weight. It maintains the federal poverty level weight at 1.02, and estimates provided do not include special education weights or categorical aid. From what I've heard, the legislature did a lot of research and looked at a lot of different plans to come up with their foundational formula. It's pieces of different plans. Otis report, I think one of the PICUS report, you probably heard of those coming out of the legislature. They set per pupil cost around 14 and change, I believe, and they're basing their their education opportunity payment on that number. And what that means for different districts, is to be seen. I think districts that are really, well, everybody's calling for tax relief, but there are districts that their per pupil costs are in the $10,000 range, and they will get hit hard if this goes through. So they'll be spending more money than they currently are, and that will have an impact. So that's what I've heard. Nothing is set in stone. When I looked at the kind of preliminary numbers, Weathersfield's opportunity payment would be, I think, 170,000 less than the current year. Windsor was around $70,000 less, $70,000 less, and Heartland was about $2 million. So
that's how much would need to be cut from each budget, you're saying?
that's what it's looking like. Yeah. So anyway, I'll keep you posted. We should know more on Thursday. I will quickly just share some of this with you. Let me click on it. This is the side-by-side of H454 out of the House version and the Senate version. So quickly, for school district boundaries, the House version, they proposed a working group under the Commission on Future Public Education where some people in the field, retired superintendents, are appointed so that they can help do the gathering of information on where boundaries lines should be drawn if that happens. And it calls for a minimum school district size of, to share this tab instead, sorry, 4,000. The Senate version does not, it just has legislatures on this committee. I think I heard 8 now instead of 6, so changes happen frequently. And the language in the Senate proposal calls for the continuation of access to independent schools for towns that currently have choice. The proposal must include the continuation of both supervisory districts and unions. And then it calls for a task force, which is made up of 4 members of the House and 4 members of the Senate. School size and school and class scale. The House version, there are class size minimums, and also and language that each public school operating grade 6 through 12 or some subset of those grades shall have minimum average daily membership of at least 450 students. The Senate version does not include language about school and class size. Statewide cohesion, under the House plan, there is a call for a statewide calendar, a statewide financial system, and a student information system so that everybody would be using the same systems, which would be an undertaking, to say the least, to get everybody using the same system. And statewide graduation requirements. The Senate bill only has graduation requirements. When we're talking about prohibition on school closure and transition to paying tuition, the House bill requires the district close schools to designate up to 3 public schools rather than moving to full choice tuitioning. Senate bill does not include that. They both include some work around state aid for construction. I think they're recognizing there needs to be some construction funding for towns. They differ on tuition eligibility. The House bill allows tuitioning to independent schools that have at least 51% of their student enrollment composed of publicly funded students attending during this current year. Those are the numbers that they would use. And the Senate bill changes that to at least 25% of its student enrollment from this current year. And it does allow for state tuitioning to public and private schools in neighboring states and provinces. 2 more quick things. The State Board of Education Appointment Authority, the House allows the House and Senate to each have the power to appoint 1 state board member without expanding the board, and the Senate's version does not expand that. And tuition payments, in the House version, tuition paid to public or independent schools is equal to the base amount and any weights that the student carries in the foundation amount, and the Senate does not include that provision, and they're working right now on their funding plan plan. So more to come this week and in the next couple of weeks, because the session ends at the end of the month. They may go longer, I believe, if need be, although that costs money, so I don't think that's a very popular thing to do. So I will keep you updated. It's ever changing, but we're trying to keep up, so. And that is the end of the administrative report.
How many districts does the Senate bill? Have they given a number of districts?
No, well, I know that in the Senate plan, they're supposed to come back, I think it's by January, with their plan for, redistricting. The House plan, they were supposed to come back, the commission was supposed to come back with 3 different versions for them to look at. So I don't know. I know the Senate version says if this doesn't happen, there is something in it that says if none of this happens, we're going to go back to Act 46, something like Act 46. So that's in their language as well. But from what I've heard, it'll come out this Thursday. I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard it may just go to committee. And when it goes to committee, it's a group of people from House and Senate Ed, I believe. They hash it out. It comes out of committee. It goes to a vote, which is an up or down vote. No more changes after committee, and then it goes to the governor. John, you confirm that? I got that right?
Committee of Conference.
Yeah. So we'll see. See what happens. Okay. Back to you, Anne Marie.
Okay. All right, so up next we have items for discussion, and the first thing we have on our list is the Hicks Nichols. Dana, we'll have you give your spiel.
So I asked to be on the agenda tonight because I wanted to present an application. The Hicks Nichols Committee had met on May 7th, and we approved this, but we're presenting it to the board for their approval. So it's for Jessica Sibert. It's going to be for K-8 for all students. It's called Screenagers. So it's going to be, we approved for a 3-year membership. It's a 2-film school membership to Screenagers, and there's an elementary edition. It's just basically, it's a resource, a curriculum, lesson plans in regards to how much time you use on the screen and the effects of it. So it's going to be the effects of the brain, the culture, your health, and so forth. And then she would do an evaluation with students and parents. There also seems to be something that could be involved with parent involvement in this. So it's given them, the students, real world dangers of screen usage, as well as how to navigate through this digital age that we happen to be in. So that's, so it's $2,500 for 3 years. So,
Per year, or
no,
that's
for
for
the
the
3
whole
years.
year?
$2,500 for the membership for 3 years.
I'll take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Vincent. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And that's unanimous.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
The Hicks Nickel Fund, the principal has stayed the same, we're just spending the.
Yeah.
So the only problem with that is that the inflation is chipping away at the principal.
Yeah.
But
But I don't think we're even with 2,500, you can't be even spending all of the interest this year.
No.
who does the investing?
I'm not sure.
They just changed companies. It's really managed through the trustees of public funds. We just get an interest from that
Okay.
money every year.
Okay,
As we, the school, meaning the school, the Hicks Nichols Committee has the interest gained from that year. But it's really managed by the trustees, and they just changed the name of the bank that they're using, and I can't think the name of it right now, John.
that's okay.
Yeah.
And also you had something else with the appointments?
Yes. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, in housekeeping in this past meeting on May 7th, we kind of noticed that maybe some people's terms had expired. So I would like to talk to the board and get that approved. So, we have a new person, Jordan Bagliola Spalding, if that's how I pronounce it correctly, a community member that would like to join the Hicks Nichols Committee. so she would be under a 1-year term.
Mhm.
Recently, Josh Compo joined. So then on our current members, Tara Smith, Jessica Brown, they are on a 2-year term, and they expire this particular month in May 2025. So if I could get the board's approval to give them 2 more years, so they would go until May of 2027.
Mhm.
Then, there's myself, and Amy Beth Main, who expired in March of
Term
2020.
expired.
Pardon?
Term expired.
She didn't expire.
That's a good point, John. I still hold my own, John. Our term expired. Thank you, Mr. Always will count on you. And so our term expired in March of 2025, and we are a 3-year term, Amy Beth Main and myself. And so we would like to have another 3 years with the Hicks Nichols Committee, and so we would expire in March of 2028.
And Vincent is,
Oh, sorry, yes.
Appointed, right?
he's appointed
From
as
this
well, but
board.
do we have, so what's his term? Is it?
So he does not have, a school member does not.
Oh, does not have a term. Oh, okay. All right,
Okay.
he's just appointed.
So it can be a school member or the principal.
Okay.
So it can be at least 2 community members,
Mhm.
okay? 1 parent, 2 teachers,
Mhm.
and the school board and/or principal member.
Okay.
So
Does
that's our,
anyone have any questions about that?
No.
Okay. I'll take a motion to approve those appointments or continuations of appointments. Well, 1 appointment and the rest are continuing. Okay, all right. All in favor,
no, sorry, go ahead.
okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And we're good.
Any other things for Hicks Nichols? We're all set? Okay, thank you all.
Thank you. Next up, we have the tax anticipation note, which is,
Yep, so,
it's every year.
we have to approve the tax anticipation note every year. I have the numbers for you. The rate is 5.85 fixed. The amount that you're borrowing or potentially borrowing, up to $2,491,794.33. And that is, we do this in case we can't pay our bills because the tax dollars haven't come in. Sometimes we have to borrow money. We try not to. So it's borrowed for a short amount of time and paid back. We don't have to do it every year, but we need to have it on the books in case we do. So you'll approve tonight, but sign in June at the retreat because you can't sign, you have to sign within 30 days of the expiration of the current one. So.
All right, does everyone understand what that is? Well, you've had it explained to us before, but I don't know about the new members. It's, we hope not to need to use it, but it's if for some reason the tax money didn't come in, we have that there as a backup so that we can pay the teachers and other staff members. So it's basically something that we sort of have to approve because we don't have a choice. And we do try hard not to use it, and we don't use it that often. Correct. As far as I understand, yeah.
So it'll still require 1 more vote if the.
No, not another vote, just we're gonna have to actually sign it.
The loan document.
It's like, yeah, we sign it every year, but we won't be able to sign it until next month. But
Okay.
we can vote on it
You
now.
approve it tonight, sign it again.
Okay, I'll take a motion to approve the tax anticipation note
You
of
have to use, yeah, $2,491,794
$2,491,794
and 33 cents.
and 33 cents.
So move.
Okay, John made that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Okay.
That's a short term though, like
Yeah,
just months.
Mhm.
Hopefully.
hopefully not at all. We hope not at all because it's kind of a waste of money if you gotta use it, but. Yeah. Hiring updates, you already did that, right?
Yeah.
That's part of your
Touch that as my part of my report.
report. Okay, 8th grade
You
algebra.
need to approve though, Anna.
We need to approve Anna. Oh, okay. All right, we need to
She's not
approve
here.
Anna.
I know.
She's on her way to a graduation
Okay.
at the state.
All right, I will take a motion to approve the hire of Anna
Bruns Heck.
Grunstead. Okay, Sarah made that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And that is also unanimous. Up next, we have 8th grade algebra. I thought we had already talked
We
about
did.
this last month, right?
Yeah,
And we decided that it was,
Years ago.
it is, I don't know why it's on here. And it
Yeah.
got past all of us, but,
yeah,
I know that it's on the SU agenda for
Yeah,
Monday.
Yep.
And that is because curriculum is by law
SU.
at the SU level. So it was approved as a program at the SU level, so it has to now go back to the SU board.
Okay.
I
so
did tell them
scratch
Weathersfield already made a plan.
that.
Heartland discussed it at their meeting. They, Lindsay's meeting with the high school math teacher to talk about, Heartland board member who's also a high school math teacher, to talk about how it could work in Heartland. So we'll talk about it Monday.
Up next, we have our board retreat, which typically replaces our June meeting. And I know we did want to give the administration some time to adjust this teacher's letter and perhaps talk about that at our next meeting. I don't know if we want to add an additional meeting or if we want to just, if we do talk about something like that, then it has to be a warned meeting.
It'll be warned anyway.
Okay, it's warned anyway, so it doesn't
Typically
really
people
matter.
don't come, but,
We should probably have a meeting before the end of the year.
Yeah.
And our meeting is after the close of school,
Okay.
so we need a meeting prior to that.
the board meeting, your next board, the retreat's scheduled for June 10th
June
Oh, is it?
at 5.
And the last day is June 13th?
Last
I
student
think
day.
for the sake of gathering information and maybe making decisions, we should have a meeting prior to June 10th.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so we will just have a board retreat on June 10th at 5 PM and we will figure out, another time when we all can meet, maybe the last week of May or first week of June.
And that meeting would be to come back and discuss the teachers.
Yeah, the teachers letter.
Should we pick a day right now?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me see what I got. Yeah, it's better if we do it while we're all here.
I agree.
Trying to do it over email is a nightmare.
May 20th. I propose May 20th, which is a Tuesday, and I don't know if Tuesday works for most people.
I've got to clean and test my smoke detector.
Oh, my God.
As long as we did it, I mean, that's the same
That's
night
the
we have Panther Cup night.
Okay,
Which is
okay.
fine, because
Right.
Panther Cup night goes from 5 to 6. That gives us a
Okay.
week to
Yeah.
go over that information.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the meeting at the
It's-
usual time,
Are you
6:30?
available the 20th?
Yep.
Everybody?
It's okay with me.
Okay.
Have a, you're here, but you're,
No, Wes has a
Oh.
baseball game, but it's
Yeah.
okay. I'll divide and conquer.
All right, so May 20th?
I would say there's also June 3rd, if that works better for people too, but I say sooner the better.
That's our spring sports night, so that
Okay.
would be interfering with.
Okay, so May 20th at 6:30.
May 20th at 6:30, and the item for discussion.
And the item for discussion is just, I don't know, teacher's letter, I don't know, or, staffing, I don't know what you want to write it down as.
For Anne Marie, would you also know the information about the algebra, because of the SU meeting?
Yeah.
Or would that not?
We should have decided by then, because then, when's the, oh, hold on, no,
19th.
the 19th, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, since,
So,
okay,
yeah,
so
good
May
point.
19th is, yes, you need
The
to
day before.
Staffing and algebra.
and that's at 6 PM now, the SU meetings.
Yeah.
I gotta remember that, I forgot last time. Okay. So that's a special meeting, and it's just to discuss that. Unless
Do
something
you want it
major
warned
comes up.
as a special meeting? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Okay.
And as far as our board retreat goes, did anyone have any topics they want to learn more about or want to talk about? Because it should be like more of an educational thing rather than really just, so we can't be making any decisions or anything like that during the board retreat. I was thinking we probably should go over open meeting laws again and just general duties of the board for our new members. They haven't had that spiel yet. Is there anything else you feel we're lacking in knowledge of? I'd like to hear more about the 454. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe,
we should know a little more by
yeah.
Yeah,
And just how it affects us.
Yeah.
You know, I think it means we're out of jobs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we are, you guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, because it does change board structure.
Yes.
So I think in, oh, God, there's been so much, so that, it depends on how many districts we end up with, but more regional boards with, I mean, one proposal said wards, so you have people that they're like not voting members, so you do lose local control.
Local control.
You do, yeah.
So, yeah, so I would like to talk about that a little bit. Any other ideas?
I mean, we need to set our goals. And
Yeah, set our
plan.
goals.
That should be
Yep.
a big part of it.
Megan, what did you say?
Set our goals.
Goals
Set
and
For
our
FY
goals.
26.
Sarah. It's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah, sounds good. And we can do maybe a Google sheet as far as, because are we bringing
Sign up
for?
for
sign up?
Yeah, we can do that for you.
We're doing that here in this room like last year. Right?
We don't do a virtual auction typically.
Correct.
It's just in person. Right.
Okay. We do have need for executive session today, personnel matter.
Let's set the agenda first.
Setting the next agenda. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, well, we're taking on,
We've got the 20th.
what is our next agenda? It would be for the,
It would be for August.
it would be for
Well, you've got
August,
you've got May
because
20th.
because we did May 20th, we have what we're doing on June 10th.
So we can do that on June 10th.
Can we set an agenda at other retreats? Okay,
It's warned,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because there
Okay.
might be a
Yeah,
lot
because
more.
we don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
It's too far
There's a lot
away.
more for us
August
to
is
do in
far, yeah.
August.
So, yeah, so let's wait and set the agenda for August at our June 10th meeting. For the retreat. Okay. Anything else? Does anyone have anything else before we go into executive?
I guess it just, if we're gonna meet back in a week, how is this gonna work? Like, I just wanna make sure that everyone's productive, right? So that's a week's time, that's not a lot of time. So are you meeting with them again? Like, how is that all gonna work? Like, we
Yes.
have their letter and we know their request, but how are we gonna come to
So,
any?
yeah, I think what she's saying, we need a mechanism to
Yeah.
ask questions
Yeah.
about the letter and for us to gather more information about what they're asking for. And then to ask you.
Right.
For responses to that.
I just,
Yeah.
So what's the mechanism we use? Is it gonna be every board member can email questions and one person is designated to get the information and respond, or can we can't talk directly, right, to the folks, so.
Correct.
So we have to figure that out.
Individual board members could email.
Administration, but not
Correct.
teachers, right?
Right.
So,
Do you have an idea, like what, I mean, this is, you have a budget, so this is really a board decision. What information would be beneficial for you to have?
well, for me,
Yeah.
I listened to the presentation regarding, Mrs. Berry's day.
Yeah.
And I say to myself, how is she getting by every day? Is this a persistent issue?
Yeah. If
In
there's
the
any extra
school,
support we
you
can
know,
give her, I don't
I mean,
think.
there's a lot of teachers here today, so there's something happening here that maybe we need to address through this mechanism, or you know, we can't just discount the fact that they're saying we need help, maybe? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well,
Can you confirm that?
I mean, I feel like we can't discount the fact that they formed a letter and, I mean, they know, they know that our budget doesn't hardly passes and there is no money, so,
But I mean, we can't legally add to the budget. We can't just decide we're gonna have
Right, but
two
we
more
have other
teachers.
avenues to.
yeah, we have
We
other
would have,
avenues.
we would have to
rearrange
we would
the
have to
budget.
find that money somewhere else.
Right.
And each teacher is over $100,000 in total
With
cost.
salary benefits.
Yeah.
But I really feel like we have to, I mean,
But
we're
we didn't get a
growing.
chance to actually
No, we
hear
didn't
what's
hear.
going on today.
Yeah,
So we need to communicate somehow legally, efficiently, effectively to hear what they need from this board.
Right.
Because this 5 minutes that they were given today, ineffective. Didn't work, right? So we didn't, I don't understand.
I
I
asked,
don't understand what they're asking for, so we need more time. But we need them, we need to be able to talk to them somehow. That's where you guys come in, right?
you were given that opportunity though.
In public participation?
Yes. I asked if
Okay.
anyone had anything they wanted to bring up. I mean, if you
Well,
want to bring it up
respectfully, we got
now,
the
or-
letter like, what, yesterday?
Yeah, it was a little late.
So, yeah.
Well, they all are here. I mean, you might wanna-
Yeah,
So if you have questions for them, that would be the time to ask, or on the 20th, I guess we can ask questions.
okay. Okay, so I would like to know what a day as a teacher is like here, and specifically why your group feels the need to add staffing to an already fully staffed school.
So are you addressing that?
Yes.
To the teacher?
To whoever wants to answer
Yeah,
the
but are you
question.
addressing it to the PE health question, or are you addressing
Oh,
it to the?
We can start with that, sure, yes.
Which teacher do you
So-
want someone to talk about?
whoever wants to.
Whoever wants to talk, the letter was kind of,
Okay.
in general, asking for staffing to be different, or to change. So if anyone can elaborate on that more, that would be great.
I can talk about my day. It's a very busy day. I get here at 7:05. Classes start at 7:50, well, 8, a little after 8. It's nonstop. I'm constantly on the go. I go 4 classes, prep, lunch. It's very busy. My bathroom break time, if I don't, you know, I occasionally have a teacher who's coming and going saying, hey, can I take you? You give you a minute, but it's really nonstop. And then the switch over from classes, kindergarten to the older kids, the younger kids, the schedule, she's done a pretty good job at making my schedule somewhat mesh, but it's just with the equipment changes and it's a visited struggle. I try my best. I try to make the units somewhat similar, so I'm not going crazy mentally with the changes of kids and classes. Yeah, like you mentioned, setting up and taking down every day. I try to work with the AD and whatnot, and we've done very well trying to make it work for everybody. But it's tiring. It's sometimes frustrating. I go home and I'm like dead tired because I just feel like it's nonstop. I mean, I know I signed up for that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that with all the things coming and going, it's sometimes just draining. But I'm doing what I can because I love it here. The kids are great, the people are great, the parents are great. It's a great community. So much support from.
I'll chime in as well, if you don't mind. So just as I put in the letter from staff, one of the things to consider is the amount of growth that our school has taken on, the amount of kids that we now have in this school, and that means she alone has to be able to cover 2 PE classes for every kid every week, every day, you know, throughout the week, obviously. That limits a lot of things. The schedule for next school year puts her prep period, which is her 45 minutes of getting ready first period of the day, because she also can't have the advisory morning meeting time because we've had to adjust the time of our schedule, meaning the periods in which the kids transition from class to class. We've had to change that because of her tight schedule. So her prep period is first thing in the morning, and then midday, maybe 11:30 is her 30-minute lunch. So she goes from first thing in the morning to do some, and then she's straight through classes until she has a 30-minute lunch and straight through classes. Obviously, that's a lot to be able to manage with not even 5 minutes in between her classes. So as soon as one ends, the next class is there ready to begin. That's for next school year. Obviously, this school year is a little bit different, but not much. We currently have 16 teachers in our building, classroom teachers, and we would need 17 in order to make that work for those classroom teachers. That also adds obviously to her schedule. As you could see, it would add an additional class that would need 2 periods of PE a week. So all of those things add up to her schedule being almost impossible really to manage.
Just to jump in, and then I think after I have a question on the K1 combo, but is adding health reasonable? It sounds like a really good idea.
Yes.
To add this separately. But is that actually enough time? You're talking about a packed schedule plus teaching separately, I'm assuming, I'm making an assumption here, health class for 16 classes. Just scheduling wise, is that doable?
Yes, because what would happen is probably like what we right now have for our social emotional learning class, which is done by Melissa Cole, our guidance counselor, school counselor, sorry, is that it's a push-in model. So that person would come into the classrooms, they would set that schedule just as we used to do with foreign language. They would set that schedule with the classroom teachers to determine the best possible time for them to come in and teach health, whatever the grade level appropriate standards would be.
This may be a silly question, but for K1 combo, is this 1 kindergarten, 1 first grade, or is that correct, or no? 1 classroom?
It's slotted to be 15 students.
Okay.
9 kindergartners, 6 first graders.
And years ago, I don't know how many years ago, Laura can say it, but there used to be years ago, what I remember when our students used to have 3 PE classes a day. 3 PE classes a week. So there was, we needed to fill her schedule, so students got 3 PE classes a week, which was great. And now her schedule is so busy that just fitting in 2 a week is challenging. And also some of her class sizes, like can have 20 plus students in there that she's trying to keep an eye on. Sometimes she has a para, depends upon the situation with the classroom, but usually it's just herself that's in there managing it all.
So it says you're looking for elementary classroom educator for which classroom?
So that would likely be a first grade classroom.
Okay.
So there would be 2 kindergartens, 2 first grades.
Okay.
Like we have now.
Correct.
You'll see our projected numbers for next year. Are those.
So with the K1 combo and the solid K and the solid 1, we're
Share
looking
this
at around
with them?
15 students.
Yeah, I haven't shared that exact one, but I pulled that up today, but yeah, I know it's about 15.
Yeah.
For the 3 classes, we have about 15 in each class, so it's 45 projected numbers between kindergarten and first grade this year, so that'd be an average class size of 15 in K1, kindergarten, first grade with 3 classes. We do have 1 large class there, that's our current 6th grade class, that will be 7th graders next year, so that's 24 students, that's that bubble class that we have. Everybody else is divided up into 2 classes. So we do have a larger number in the incoming 4th graders, we have 16 in each classroom. But other than that, besides the 7th grade bubble class and the 2 4th grade classes, everybody has less than 16 students in their classroom. And then the PE classes for the afternoon are divided up, or for middle level for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, they are mixed instead of 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So you divide about 75 students in that classroom, and then that divides them up into 10 classes or 5 classes over 2 weeks or over 2 times. So that's about 15 students per class. Sometimes the numbers do fluctuate based on the electives. So we're trying to balance that out. And then we were able to, yes, the PE teacher's prep time is in the morning, but we also, when we did divide up the schedule, it is the kindergarten through 3rd grade in the morning, so there's less switching as far as equipment. Then she does have a lunch break, and then there are 3 extra slots in there because there's 7 slots per day that we can do PE. Right now, like they said that we need 32 because we got 16 classes. So 7 times 5 is 35, so we have 3 extra slots right now that we're allowing the PE teacher to use as extra time to prep throughout the week.
Okay, is there an extra $100,000 floating around in the school somewhere?
Not that I'm aware of, but we could look again in the budget and see if that's possible.
What is because I know sometimes we do have, a surplus, but I believe this year is not looking like it's gonna be a surplus year. It's looking like we might actually be negative this
It's
year.
not looking like a surplus. And Katie's gonna report out Monday the special ed budget. We're not sure. So it's over currently. We're not sure if we'll get revenue in to cover. I know she's looking at the data. We've had some move-ins, unexpected move-ins, students with some high needs that we didn't anticipate. So currently our budget is over.
So what do we do though? Like, what do we do as we grow? I mean,
Growth has plateaued the past 3 years, really.
Sort of. I mean, not really. I mean, we have within our SU, we're gathering people.
There's a lot of special ed growth,
Yeah.
which would contribute to the burnout.
I mean, our
that they're
numbers are up.
experiencing, So
So even if they plateaued, we're still working off of numbers from before. And we've grown. Like I said, because we're so great, we tend to get, within that RSU, we have transfers and we're absorbing those. So what is the plan as we grow? I mean, yes, we don't have $100,000 or $200,000 if we really need 2 teachers, but I mean, at some point, we're going to have to plan for growth if we're gonna continue to grow. And that's where I'm always like, what's our plan? What's our goals? Like, we just don't talk enough about that. And now we have teachers that are kind of ringing the bell saying, what are we doing about this? And going back to this, I brought this up at the retreat last year, like, what is our plan moving forward? What is our goals as we grow, as we get better? We need a plan in place. Like, I know we just can't pull money out of the stars, but I mean, if some schools are going down with numbers, but we keep going up, like, our budget is going to need to change, and we're going to have to find the support for it within our community, whatever that may look like. I mean, nobody wants their taxes to go up, but we have a great school and we're growing and it's desirable and we need to address that at some point. So, I mean, to me, it's on the table all the time. Like, we should be thinking about this. This is not a huge surprise. I mean, there's all the time that we need more social emotional. There's lots of things that we've needed. I mean, I've met with the teachers multiple times. Like, this is just kind of been building, I feel. This is not a surprise to me, but.
I mean, I know that we have.
Can I ask Christine a question?
Sure.
Christine, so what does Heartland have for numbers for students?
Around the same. It's around the same.
Okay, and what's the setup for PE in Heartland?
They are reduced the position, so they have 1 PE teacher next year.
But in the past, they've had.
They had to.
In the
They
past,
can't
they've
afford
had
it.
2.
So they had to cut it, which is
Right.
our
So,
focus.
I mean, that's something that I look at myself and say, okay, this is around our size, maybe 10, 15 off type of thing. But they've had either a full-time and a part-time or 2 full-times. And so, looking at Heartland, who's similar to our setup, that's something to think about. And
But I think when they had 2 teachers, they did have more students. Their
They did.
student numbers have been coming down, which is
Right.
why
What I'm
our
saying is
percentage
that-
has gone up.
And they have a curtain that goes across the middle of the gym, so they can have half of a lunch and half of PE,
They
or
do.
2 different PE classes.
They do.
So
I think the
you're
other,
on the right path that we need to plan about this, because we are reaching staff, the capacity of the building, believe it or not, is reaching, Mr. Marquez and BJ will say this, a vacant room. What do you have for a vacant room? And, the PE teacher, she can't take any more classes.
I think
Her day is booked.
one thing to think about, Diana, and this could all change with the new funding formula. I mean, there's a threshold, Weathersfield stayed under that threshold. If you had another teacher on, another position, you were close, so you probably would have been over.
We were
And then-
extremely close to
Then you would
the,
have been penalized. Heartland was penalized. They're paying a hefty penalty for being over the threshold. Yes, they had 2 PE teachers. They are reducing staff because, their numbers warrant that. Currently, I hear you. I totally get it.
No, I'm just saying that,
Yeah,
similar,
so,
that's all I want.
and having a health teacher has been something that, previously when Mark was on the board, that was something that was very important to him. We've been talking about that for years. We would love to add a health teacher, health/PE teacher. We would love to, unfortunately.
I think we advertised for one.
We did, and
Yeah,
there was
there was
no applicants, same as
Yeah.
Spanish.
And,
Yeah, same as Spanish.
it's really tough. As you heard, next year, our budget, while every costs are all going up, health insurance is gonna be double digits again next year. We're gonna have less money to spend. We're gonna have to cut $200,000 probably somewhere.
I mean, well, these are,
Yeah,
preliminary.
I mean,
things.
but that's a possibility.
But I would say for the record, though, I think this board supports our teachers
Yeah.
and our administration quite well.
Yeah.
So I don't want to discount it by saying no.
I
We need
just
to-
want
we
them to
need to-
understand that we'd love to,
Yeah,
and we'd love to
yes.
do that,
yes.
but it may not be
But-
possible.
We can do our due diligence with this instead of saying, no, it's not possible. It's not the right thing to say.
Being new, it certainly does sound like we need to plan for growth. Is there anything else? Because if we can find, it sounds like if we can look at it and find flexibility, that's all in our best interest. Is there any other way to do this? And maybe, I'm still learning, right? So, is it a support staff? Is it part-time? Is it, right? Like, how can we know we need to plan for growth. I think that's what I'm hearing from other board members. But how else could this be done, maybe as a plan B or plan C? Is it someone part-time? Is it part-time for PE and no health? Is it a para solution?
Another para.
Is there anything else we can bridge to get to the ultimate goal of 2 more teachers to support this growth, if that could be a possibility? Is there anything else? How can we get creative?
I don't see an issue with considering a part-time PE teacher. I think you're gonna find that way harder to employ a part-time person. However, that's a possibility, yes. I think the dual license piece was so that they had full-time job, right, was why we were asking that. And now also because health is important, and I think that we are not doing our due diligence in that area. And I'm saying me because it's easier for me to say I, but I'm speaking for everybody. Considering other options, paraeducators are fine, except that's also a budget item in and we currently only have 1 paraeducator that is paid for locally. The rest are all special education paras, and you would have to increase the budget in order to have one of those as well, or multiple of those. So it's not that we would object to having them, we would like to have more, but that's still also a budget item that we want to consider. Less so than a teacher, of course, but
What's the plan for the combo class? Like, are they going to have another person in the room?
No.
So it's just the
Just-
teacher
it'll be based
unless
on-
there was a one-on-one.
Right, based on needs, if there's needs for a specific para in there, yes, there will be.
That's wonderful kindergarten. One for first grade, one kindergarten. I mean, that's the plan right now.
I'd ask the administration to take a look at the situation, take a look at the numbers, and come back with a report of some sort in a week when we meet, next time we meet.
Yeah, maybe come up with a bare minimum plan that we
Right.
might have a
Couple
shot at
options.
working with, or that might work for the situation that we're in. And associated cost.
I was gonna say with or without,
Yeah.
with or without money.
Yeah.
Is a week enough time? Is that good? Alright. So we could change the date. Okay.
I was gonna say, I've.
Okay.
Be online at the gate.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all set with that, and if you guys have your marching orders, you're all set. Yeah, I mean, I guess just, yeah, if there's anything that you can think of, money that can be found to come up with a part-time teacher. And then, yeah, as Laura said, it would probably be difficult to hire, but,
Dual certified.
no, not health, if it was a part-time, it would just be PE, yeah.
There's lots of new college.
Yeah.
And they're typically coming out of college with a PE and health certification now,
Okay.
but not all of them, but
Yeah.
a good amount.
The new science teacher.
Yeah, what if, actually, I'm just thinking, what about like a internship kind of thing? Like, somebody that's currently in, because I know they have to get student teacher hours, right?
Mhm.
It would be somebody that could come and help.
Can they legally do that?
If they're
Like-
a student teacher, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if they're a student teacher, yes.
They're not the teacher of record, but they
Right.
can
And that's usually a limited amount of
Yeah.
time, obviously.
For a
Students
semester.
are only
Yeah.
doing student teaching for so many weeks. It's not an entire school year that they work.
Okay, does that sound like a plan? Or for you guys?
Better than a no.
Better than
Okay.
nothing.
Okay. All right, so I guess I will take a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Okay, Sarah, all in favor, say aye.
Under personnel.
Under personnel,
Right,
yeah.
that's the same, right.
Thank you all very
Thank
much.
you.
for your consideration.
So we'll come back and record and stuff, recording. Becky, you've got going in, how?
So when I just see.
Marlene, you need to write home, you wanna write home?